Don in London, hello, it's February 27th, 2010. My videos all about recovery from addiction to either substance or behaviour. My addictive substance, alcohol, so an alcoholic in recovery these days. My behaviour could be equally addictive to work, relationships, materialism, collecting, having the right house, having the right car, you name it. Having the right something or other to fix me and make me feel right about the world. And I guess I was an advertiser's dream, and also a great consumer, because fear made me want to be perfect, and of course I was never perfect and never will be. And that's the greatest gift I've learned. It's progress, not perfection in life. So on this happy road of destiny, or sometimes sad, life is as it is, and if I'm covering my needs, I have a roof over my head, I can eat enough and be okay, and have fellowship to help me keep sober. Those are the criteria which make the rest of my life work, which is to be part of family, community and society, and be useful to myself and other people. So what is usefulness to one person may not be to another. So we find our usefulness, and we find out how to find friends, or to be a friend, to have friends back, to love, be loved and useful. Sounds so simple, but yet for human beings it seems to me quite complicated, and in my own situation it was complicated because I was fearful of not being good enough. So what helped me in my early development, I guess, was to take the edge off, to find joyfulness and conviviality and relaxed feelings based on fixing me. And the way I fixed myself was from the first drink I ever took, alcoholic drink, which made me feel different. So something external to me fixed me, rather than feeling okay with myself and then maybe having a drink, which might have made me laugh more, or I suppose experience some sort of different feeling which was enhanced. So I guess in some ways dependent from the first drink to experience something more than fear. And it took me a long time to work this out, and actually not understanding what is wrong with us from an early age. If we have fear inside us, it's there for a reason, but it can be over exaggerated, and so we can become overly dependent on fixing the fear, either with people, places or things. And in recovery from addiction, that's it. In recovery, just one day at a time. Never fully recovered in my experience, because going back to drinking will lead me back very, very quickly to overcompensating and trying to fix myself in another way. So if it's not drink, it's something else, and I watch out for that as best I can. And I get help. I get help from family, community and friends and professionals to keep me sober. And I have a fellowship which backs all of this up, which has taught me that sober comes first and the rest of life can work. So if I keep sober, I can experience every upside or downside of life. So fellowship, the fellowship of AA, Alcoholics Anonymous, has helped me immensely, and I share about AA here, my experience, strength and hope, and how it helps me on a daily basis. So it's sharing in order to illustrate what it may do or help another person achieve, which is sobriety. Simple as that. That's the reason I do these, and for people who cannot get out to meetings of AA or just want to know a little bit more. So what is AA? I will share the statement of intent and then some of the literature which helps me on a daily basis, and something possibly which is on my mind. So I'll start with the preamble, or AA statement of intent. Alcoholics Anonymous is a fellowship of men and women who share their experience, strength and hope with each other, that they may solve their common problem and help others to recover from alcoholism. The only requirement for membership is the desire to stop drinking. There are no dues or fees for AA membership. We are self-supporting through our own contributions. AA is not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, organisation or institution, does not wish to engage in any controversy, neither endorses nor opposes any causes. Our primary purpose is to stay sober and help other alcoholics to achieve sobriety. And it's as simple as that. And that is complicated, because we're complicated people trying to fix ourselves most of the time. So what helps me when I can't get to meetings and just hear the experience, strength and hope of other people is literature. And it's all about forming a new attitude and behaviour to life, to be sober, and then see what happens. See what happens on a daily basis. So in this book, Daily Reflections, it covers the 12-step action program to help us change our attitude and behaviour, to be unique, authentic people on our unique, authentic path. It doesn't make us special and different. It just gives us a unique and authentic outlook, to be ourselves, not to be the same as other people, nor to be dogmatic about it, just to learn how to be ourselves. And it says for February the 27th, a unique stability. And in February it's all about step 2, which is being restored to sanity by a power greater than ourselves. And for me, the power greater than me is the rest of the world and the wisdom in it, and a God of my understanding, which is truth, love, and God works through people. So I need to listen a lot. A unique stability. Where does AA get its direction? These practical folk then read tradition 2 and learn that the sole authority in AA is a loving God, as he may express himself in the group conscience, in other words through other people. The elder statesman is the one who sees the wisdom of the group's decision, who holds no resentment over his reduced status, whose judgment, fortified by considerable experience, is sound, and who is willing to sit quietly on the sidelines, patiently awaiting developments. In other words, we learn to keep our own counsel and let people learn how to live their lives and live inside a group of fellowship. Into the fabric of recovery from alcoholism are woven the 12 steps and 12 traditions. As my recovery progressed, I realised that the new mantle was tailor-made for me. The elders of the group gently offered suggestions when change seemed impossible. Everyone's shared experiences became the substance for treasured friendships. I know that the fellowship is ready and equipped to aid each suffering alcoholic at all crossroads in life. In a world beset by many problems, I find this assurance a unique stability. I cherish the gift of sobriety. I offer God my gratitude for the strength I receive in fellowship that truly exists for the good of all members. So it's not all about me. And this unique stability, well, if we try and do it on our own, anybody who's tried to give up something on their own normally finds that it's extraordinarily difficult. But the wisdom of the many in fellowship gives us the opportunity to hear how other people do it. And part of fellowship is also being a part of a greater whole, if you like. And for me, God is truth, God is love, and what God works through people. So it's the universality of wisdom which is so important. And I put something on my Facebook about sponsors, and what a sponsor is and what a sponsor isn't. And why am I so keen to share that sponsors are there to help us understand how to keep sober, and that there are limits to what a sponsor does? Simply because when a sponsor changes to being a friend or a confidant in a different way, or the nature of the relationship is not about 12-step fellowship and not about how to keep sober a day at a time, becomes a more, I suppose, brotherhood, sisterhood, or whatever it comes out to be. It changes, and we need sponsors who remain to an extent detached. But a sponsor works the way they work, and if that sponsor becomes something else in our lives, then we need to ask ourselves, what are the roles now? It's to avoid codependence, where one has power over the other, or there are obligations and misunderstandings brewing in those relationships. So for me, this book, or this pamphlet, Questions and Answers on Sponsorship, outlines exactly what sponsors and sponsees may expect of each other and keep life on track. Anyway, at the end of these videos I always share the Serenity Prayer, which is to God or good conscience, as you choose. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference is, for me, just for today.